there, Aquarius, Aquarius rising, and of course all of you Aquarius moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting February 24th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Also, we do have a guy upstairs moving out, so just bear in mind if you hear any thuds or doors or things dragging across the ceiling, it's that. It's not as bad as it was yesterday when I was recording the first 6 horoscopes, but just in case, I thought I'd throw it out there. So, what is going on when it comes to your astrology over the course of this coming week? Well, on Tuesday, we've actually got Mercury currently retrograde in your second house of earned income, employment, your values and your valuables, conjunct the Sun in the same area. And I hope I said second house, because I meant to say second house, Pisces. That's the truth. And with Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun in the second house, we have a chance to actually make a constructive shift in maybe some kind of mistake, or correct and make an alteration to something that has been done either unfairly or erroneously as it relates to a professional or financial matter. Now, this could be going back in time, perhaps even dealing with overpayments, unfair expectations, maybe things that we have been made to do when it comes to work or misunderstanding with a new job. Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun is bringing a matter to a head and highlighting it for all concerned so that it can actually be rectified. Because even though Mercury retrograde can be, functionally frustrating, we have the Sun involved, focusing on healing, focusing on repair work, focusing on making everything as good as it possibly can be. Now, this could be something that involves a very big and possibly frustrating correction that you will need to participate in. However, at the end of the day, it is in the best interest of all concerned, and Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun is most likely going to be doing you a huge favor. And you might even be catching a mistake or having something rectified that you didn't even know was working against you. On Friday, we actually have Venus, the planet of love, harmony, affection, as well as the finer things in life and magnetism, in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, Aries, forming a square to Pluto, currently in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. And it does look like a very kind, very sweet, well-intended gesture from a member of your peer group, possibly even a friend or somebody who is offering maybe a love token or token of affection, is crossing a line in some way. Now, this could even be coming from a romantic partner. Venus square to Pluto in the 12th house can sometimes show up where a positive thing espouses either an uncomfortable experience or possibly even brings up a trigger of another problem. With Pluto in the 12th house, this could absolutely be almost an unfortunate case of a gesture or an action taken by another, takes you back to maybe a negative experience in your past, or perhaps even brings up or brings out something that maybe was intended to be kept private, or something that was intended to kind of stay in the shadows or stay in the past. Because remember, Pluto is all about secrets. Pluto's the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is also about the past, but it's also about transition and also where we apply our power. And when we have Venus square to Pluto, there is sort of a betrayal of a script that people have been living by, or maybe maybe it's not even a betrayal. It might not even be intended. It could be perfectly generous, perfectly nice, but it does look like it's crossing a line, or it may be setting off something else in your life. And so it's important to understand that this is happening most likely in an innocent fashion. I don't see this as a manipulation. But with Venus square to Pluto, it could be something that might shake your confidence in this person, or maybe feel like your confidence has been betrayed. Because it's a square, we of course can get through it. Squares always have cures. Squares always have fixes, and we can still keep all areas of the square working and functioning properly and happily and peacefully. So it's important not to overreact or to try to maybe countermand what is coming through, but possibly find a way to make sure that all people, including yourself involved in this situation, are able to enjoy the goodness that's coming through. Perhaps with Venus square to Pluto, it's very necessary for this to happen, even though it might be uncomfortable in the beginning. So before we move on to your cards, I do want to remind all of you out there, if you are a part of the Patreon, your monthly astrology horoscopes for March will be up on February 23rd. That's this coming Sunday. And for those of you interested in the Oversoul group's discussion of soulmates, soul family, and twin flames, that video is up, and you can check that out after this video by taking treacherous voyage down to my avatar and going to my main channel page. It's on the main channel page, or you can open up the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your cards for this coming week? Well, for your spiritual themes, we actually have the Empress upright. So we talk about the Empress upright. It's all about basically setting up the best structures for the new reality. Okay, because the Empress is all about an influx of resources, an influx of connections that are helping you create the kingdom you wish to live in. And the nice thing about the Empress card upright is that in a lot of cases what happens is that we have our best chance to set up a new sense of longevity and security as well. However, because the Empress is still a ruler, it's kind of incumbent upon you, Aquarius, to also pay attention to what is going to, of course, be an adequate fit for this new reality. Sometimes we have to pay close attention to what is maybe not necessarily going to be a complementary match or vibrational match or in alignment with the career or the household or the home or the social life that we wish to actually carry on. Because with the Empress card upright, we are seeing a lot of you being able to start basically fresh, a completely fresh new sense of home, happiness, fertility, and security, but we also have to make sure that we are tending our garden well and making sure that we are paying attention without bias, without being too judicious with our truths, to see what exactly is a complementary experience for our ideal. Because sometimes what happens with this card is we're challenged to look at what are we trying to let sneak by, even though it would or may already be an active sabotaging influence or uncomplimentary influence of that experience. With the Empress card upright, this is the time to be paying attention to protecting what is you and yours in its most authentic expression. But also, as we get to the influx of the Three of Pentacles upright, we have a new sense of capability even coming from your team and your support system. Because the influx of the Three of Pentacles is talking about really having that ideal sense of community. And that can sometimes be a little bit tough to find nowadays, or at least it has been, at least in the 20 teens, because a lot of what's out there isn't necessarily, at least at the time of recording this video, geared towards helping people actually live the life that they're hoping to have, right? It's one thing to get it, but it's another thing to keep it for longer than a minute. And I think that with the Three of Pentacles upright, we are finding more of a complementary support system. And in a lot of cases with the Three of Pentacles, this could absolutely be a new team of friends, or maybe we are swapping out when it comes to what's already on a team to become much more strong and much more conducive to the work we're all trying to do together. A lot of implementation is beginning this week. Yeah, I know it's Mercury retrograde, I don't care. There's a lot of implementation this week of finally getting to work on bringing something forth into being for yourself that maybe you have been putting off for far too long. Remember, with the Empress and the Three of Pentacles as a combination, waiting for somebody to manifest and give you the life you want to have isn't necessarily going to happen. It's not going to be your partner, it's not going to be your friend, it's not going to be an angel, it's going to be you. And it's going to be the people who actually create and co-create that experience right now, not later, not playing the long game, that are going to be able to do it. So if you are playing your life like a game of chess, cut it out, because you actually have a chance to start getting something off the ground without being entangled in a lot of other stories that have nothing to do with you. We are trading out those stories and those casts of characters for something much, much better a fit. When it comes to the outflux, what's going away, we have the Page of Pentacles upright. I see a lot of you Aquarian people, yes, abandoning a course that you have taken, or possibly abandoning a path that you are on, that we are starting to understand is not substantiating the change that we thought it would. Now, whether or not you bet the farm on it, or maybe you thought that this was something that, it's a course of action you need to take, it's the only feasible way that you could see, again, the life you want to live manifesting, it's proven to be completely untrue. And we actually have a better alternative. The Page of Pentacles upright going away is indicating possibly divesting from that, from that road or that path that you are on. Yes, a lot of you may be finding reasons to think about making some shifts in friendship circles, career paths, career groups, however you want to do it. But at the same time, I think it's because you already have found something better. In fact, let's get down to the material concerns, okay, or the mundane concerns at the bottom row. Well, for your material concerns, we do have the Justice card in reverse. And a lot of you Aquarius people are going to actually be in a position where we do need to do some serious course correction, or correcting something before it gets out of hand is what I'm seeing, or correcting something that's already been out of hand. I'm getting very distinctly an impression that this Justice card reversed is not a surprise. Okay, let me stress that. It's not a surprise. This is something that maybe has been going on for a while, or something that you've suspected for a while. It really harkens back to that Mercury retrograde conjunct the Sun very much, because the Justice card reverse is indicating, an unfair or maybe imbalanced implementation of a rule, or distribution of resources or talent or credit in the workspace. And quite possibly with the Justice card reversed, you may be also finding that a path that maybe you have been set on regarding a recent financial or professional decision is not going to substantiate what it is boasted to you. However, because we have such a strong week with the astrology for a successful course correction, I don't want any of you to get discouraged, okay? Because the Justice card reversed is showing up where we do need to look back so we can take a step back, and we'll clear it up from there, okay? It does not have to be a bad week. When it comes to the external, what's going on when it comes to maybe your friends, your relatives, the other people in your life, we have the Two of Cups upright. I feel like I'm getting a very strong impression for a lot of you Aquarian people that this could be, I guess, an additional love boost, because I am seeing the possibility of love coming through an existing social circle for a lot of you who are available, or maybe you're not necessarily looking very hard, but you're caught by surprise, by some kind of attraction or a sense of rapport or connection with somebody that you may share a social group with, or maybe some social contacts with. This might be somebody completely brand new, right? We don't want to assume all the time that we can kind of come back and see exactly what's going on days and days before the horoscope window begins. But with the Two of Cups upright, it does look like there are some matches being made. Now, of course, this also could be a match made in heaven coming in a platonic way as well. Maybe a matchmaking opportunity for a business partnership, a matchmaking opportunity for a creative project, a matchmaking opportunity for a roommate situation. But with the Two of Cups upright, we have a new union coming forth. With the relationships area, we actually have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And it seems like whether it's somebody new or somebody that you are already with is rather dogged in their work ethic. And because I'm seeing with the Knight of Pentacles reversed this very strong tendency to be not necessarily just not unavailable in an emotional way, but they are definitely somebody who is very much constantly on the job. The Knight of Pentacles reversed can show up as somebody who is not handling their time with us very well because they're not handling their time for themselves very well. Again, they are very, very dogged in their pursuit of either the completion of some kind of major priority of theirs or maybe just the acquisition of wealth and status. Sometimes these things can be set off by a sense of insecurity. Maybe they've seen something else going on. They don't feel like they're as far ahead in life as they wish they could be, or maybe they just have something to prove. But with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the good news is they can always be turned right side up. Just be mindful this week. You may be finding that you are still feeling that love and attraction for this person, and you may notice that your relationship with your partner is not necessarily in any kind of trouble, but something is causing them, or something has them at least this week, behaving in a way that almost feels like if you didn't know better, you'd say that they were checking out. Not necessarily true. They're simply obsessed with something else that is kind of forcing them to put all their productive energy there. And when I say obsessed with something else, I definitely feel with that Knight of Pentacles reversed, it has something to do with going back to a professional or a financial priority that has consumed them. All right, so see what we can do to bring back moderation. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, just go on ahead to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com.